Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Foundation Fest with Ziva. Today I'm checking out from Wyn Beauty, the brand by Serena Williams. This is the Featuring You Hydrating Skin Tint. Retails for $29 for 1 fluid ounce or 30 milliliters of product. Comes in 36 different shades. I have this in shade 90 Reach, and I think it is quite cool because they all have numbers, the shades do, but they've also all got very empowering names to them. One of them is Empower. I'll just read you a few. Release, Center, Next, Flow, Pinnacle, Curiosity, Open, Velocity, Become, Commit, Step, Determine, Drive, Flex, More. I like that. It's been a while since we've had something so, I don't know, less clinical? I don't know. Let's look at the details here. This does have SPF 30 in it. It appears to be a chemical sunscreen. It is clean ingredients according to Ulta's rules of clean. Cruelty free. It gives back. I'll have to see what that means. Ooh, it's vegan too. Refreshing gel cream texture, feels lightweight, easy to blend, lets skin shine through. Invisible broad spectrum UVA, UVB protection. Truly unstoppable Hydra complex for 72-hour hydration. Safe for sensitive skin. No parabens, no mineral oil, no talc. Here's the other thing I found really interesting about the brand in general. So let me go back to the previous page on Ulta's website. So when you're creating a brand, typically you will be, instructed to come up with the pillars of your brand. Like, what are the things that at its core your brand represents? Not the product lines, but the core ideals of your brand. And the 4 that were chosen by Wyn Beauty, I'm guessing in part by Serena Williams, since her name is on this brand. We've got high performing. All right, that's pretty standard. Ultra hydrating. So she's definitely targeting an audience there. Skin loving, probably a less trendy way to say clean, ingredients that are good for the skin, and intentional shade range. Those are the 4 pillars that were chosen for the Wyn Beauty brand to represent their value propositions, what they're putting out to the world. And I just thought this whole brand so far appears to me as very intentional and very kind of not concerned what everyone else is doing. Like, they're doing their own thing, and I'm here for it. These little things, I don't know if regular people that don't study media and marketing and things like that pay attention to any of this. But I also think the packaging is super cute. You can still see the color of the product through the bottle, but this looks like it's happy, it's inspiring, it's different. It also feels like an athlete made it, kind of, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm pretty stoked about this. So I picked up shade 90 Reach, which is not anywhere near the lightest shade, really. It's a pretty good shade range at 36. So 90 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th lightest shade, described as light with cool undertones. I usually go fair when it's like winter time and light when it's summertime, but I stay toward like the darker end of fair and the lighter end of light when I'm choosing my shades. We will see how this one goes. In fact, let's take a look at shade 90 Reach swatched against a few others in my collection. Swatch time. First up is today's foundation from Wyn Beauty by Serena Williams, featuring You, the Hydrating Skin Enhancing Tint in shade 90 Reach. That looks very fair for a shade described as light cool. But anyway, second up I've got from Estee Lauder, the Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. Third up is MAC Studio Sculpt in NW15. And last I've got from Wet n Wild, the Tinted Hydrator in Fair. I already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 49-year-old face. I want to talk about this sunscreen I tried from First Aid Beauty, which is usually a brand I like. It's the Ultra Repair Face Moisturizer with Sunscreen, SPF 30, and it had a bit of a white cast, and my problem was that the white cast was clinging to every bit of flaky skin that I've got right now. I'm a little peely right now, and for something that claims to be super hydrating, the fact that it wouldn't work for someone that's suffering from a need for hydration is kind of interesting. So I have actually tried to get as much of it off of my face as I could, so I don't think I have much left of that on, but not super pleased on that one. Did come in my Ipsy this month for June. Ipsy June is pretty stacked. I'm gonna film some of it after I get this foundation on my face. I'm also wearing the Real Her Dream Without Limits Ceramide Primer, and this came in Ipsy, and I want to say I like it. If you're a person that likes the smoothing look and feel of a dimethicone or a silicone type of a primer, like the effect that those give, but you don't like how heavy they feel, this is just a little bit different. It's lighter weight feeling, like it spreads a lot easier, like it's thinner, but even on my hand, do you see how smooth that stripe looks now? Like, it has the same sort of visual impact without that heavy silicone feeling to it. So there's just a first impression, but I'm wearing it and I really like look how young that hand looks compared to the other one. This one is still bruised. Do you see that? That's 2 weeks old at this point. I banged my hand on my... See, look, some of the sunscreen's still on there. White casty, gross. I don't like that sunscreen. Yeah, I banged my hand setting up my t-shirt displays at a vendor event a couple weeks ago, and I banged it good, man. It's like, it's still bruised. Anyway. Also, if you're wondering why I look so weird, a mosquito bit my ear cartilage, rude, and bit my neck, also rude. Just rude. I'm a hot mess over here. I burned my finger last night. If you want to see what the shape, do you see that line? That is the shape of my air fryer basket when I picked it up after it had come right out of the air fryer with my bare hand. Very smart I am. Anyway, let's get this foundation going. Now, it is a skin tint, so I'm thinking I'm just going to go in with fingertips. Let's check the consistency here. Oops. Ooh, it's one of those ones where you got to turn it to lock it. I like that. You're not going to accidentally, like in travel or anything, end up with it going all over the place or opening when you don't want it to open. I like that. This looks like it might be a little too light for me. Let's find out. It looks pretty light. Oh, wow, that's super light. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I should have just done half my face. All right, let me like swipe it off here. Let's see. Maybe it dries down a little darker, because that's really pale. And this is not a fair shade. This is in the light category, so I thought I was going for my summer shade. But this is probably too light for my winter shade even. Assuming it doesn't deepen. You know, I don't want to use the word oxidize because that has such a negative connotation to it. And most products do react with oxygen in some way. Typically, the way you want it to happen is that it happens in the initial dry down. So it's not happening throughout the day. Oxidation is like the reaction of the product with oxygen and oxidizing and changing the components or the makeup or the appearance of the molecules, where dry down is different from oxidation. So maybe upon dry down, this will be slightly darker. I kind of hope it will be because it's pretty light. I mean, since it's a tint, you can get away with a lot. It does do a little redness correction because I didn't put any on my my chin over here. But Ziva's like, yeah, looks like redness correction. Pretty sheer. Still see all my sunspots. I'm not seeing it drying down to any other real change in color here, but let's get the rest of this on my face and see where we're at. So yeah, the light shades are running very light. I would say, because this to me would be a very fair shade if I were to describe it the way most brands describe their shades. I would call this very fair, not light. This light to me is me in the winter or in the summer, like me with a little self tanner even, because I am fair. I'm just usually the darker end of fair in an extensive shade range, and this is the light end of light, so that's pretty light. Because yeah, it's a little light for me. Just a little light. So be aware, the light end of the spectrum is pretty light. Now, I am throwing a very challenging face at this foundation today. I'm peely everywhere. I don't know why, but I think it's because I've been slacking on my nighttime skincare routine. So it's entirely my fault. But it is clinging a bit on my forehead to my flaky skin here. It's clinging a little bit to all the flaky skin, but because it's a tint, it's really not obvious because, you know, it's not a full coverage kind of a product. I'm going to take what I have left here and just try to cover my sunspots just a little bit. And then I'm going to take a little bit under my eyes as concealer. The consistency is really nice. It feels super lightweight and it feels hydrating. It's got a nice slip to it without feeling greasy. You know, I don't feel like it's dragging on my skin at all, which is nice. Alright, cover those dark circles a little bit. Just a smidge. Alright, Ziva, what is happening? Let me zoom you guys in so you can see what I'm seeing. Alright, any pilling you might notice, there's just a little bit, and it's not the foundation. It is the sunscreen that I had on prior, so do not judge the foundation for that. Clinging a little bit to flaky skin. Yeah, it's just clinging a little bit to it. If you look up close, you can see where the edges of that flaking skin are. I think it's minor enough that once I put some blush bronzer highlight on, actually I'll probably skip the highlight today due to the flaking skin, but I think the blush bronzer will disguise any of that. It is a pretty light shade for sure, but it dries down completely. Feels like skin, does not feel like any sort of heavy layer of anything on my face. It's not settling into any lines at this point. The only thing is the clinging to some flakes, which if I didn't have flakes, it wouldn't be clinging now, would it? So, not bad, not bad. We'll see how we go with the blush bronzer highlight. It is 2:37. Let me put the rest of my face on. I will be right back. Back with the Wyn Beauty. It did settle a little bit into my deepest chin line there. I just, you know, brushed it out. Everything blended fine, but I feel like if you have any kind of flakes peeling going on, it's not gonna be the one for you. My lips are on fire. Let's talk about it. I picked up a couple. Now, I love the Maybelline Lifter Glosses. This is their new plump version. They put a chili pepper right on there, like I should know. It is a super stingy burny to the point where, I mean, I tolerate these very well, and I need the plumping. My lips are super thin, so I don't mind if I have to go through a little stinging to get there. But these are, it is uncomfortable. I really want to wipe it off my mouth. I'm not going to, but I would like to. But I'm thinking about it. Anyway, on the rest of my face, we've got Balm Desert Bronzer, Lawless Juicy Watermelon Blush. This is new from Color Street, Euphoric Highlight Balm. And I'm going to say this is more of like a blush topper highlight hybrid. It's gorgeous if you wear cool tones. I don't think it'll work on a warm tone as well, but it's like a duochrome highlight with a sheen of cool tone to it, which then I can blend it down into the blush and it just looks really cool. I've worn it a few times now and I'm very pleased. It comes as part of a bundle while supplies last. It's a limited time product. I've got one shade in the crease of my What's Up Beauty Dragon Eye palette. The rest of my face, I think pretty much the rest of everything, is from the June Ipsy. So I've got, dun, 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 what am I wearing? I'm wearing, well, this is not from the Ipsy. The main thing on my lids, I showed this in the drugstore makeup video I did last week. From Lottie London, eye foil in the shade Too Much. I love it. It's so fast and easy. Totally loving it. I went in over, I had tried the brow gel that came in the Ipsy and it wasn't strong enough. So I went back to my Maybelline Super Lock. Maybe my new favorite brow product. It's just as strong as my e.l.f. Brow Lift, which you know is my beloved. But I love that it has a little brush and I don't have to get a separate spoolie. So I'm wearing that. I'm wearing an eye pencil from the brand Context from my Ipsy box in the shade Crossfire. That's in my outer corners. The unfortunate thing is when I pulled the cap off the pencil, the actual shadow stick inside flew out of the pencil. So the packaging is not great on that, or maybe I just got a dud, I don't know. Mascara is also from my Ipsy Glam bag, and I really like it. It is, God, my lips are burning. This is not pleasant. Mile High Club from, oh, it's Wander Beauty. Mile High Club mascara from Wander. Love it. I think it's, this is 2 dips on each eye. And I think it is nicely lengthening, nicely separating, no clumping. This, I like this one. That's a nice one. I think that's all the things. Is that all the things I'm wearing? Oh, this, no, I can't. Oh, it's hot. It feels literally like bee stings. Like it's not even heat, it's like needles. Not dislike. Ow. I mean, my tongue is starting to tingle. I don't like that. And I can take a lot when it comes to a plumping lip gloss because I have thin lips and I get kind of desperate. But I'll show you what else I bought. This has nothing to do with anything, but it's probably what I'm going to put on now. I got more colors. I think I have almost all of them now. Of the CoverGirl lip stains. These are awesome. They're super easy to wear. They last through drinking and eating. You know, they'll wear off a bit, but they'll still leave the stain behind. And I usually wear them under a gloss, but you don't have to. But they do wear just fine, even under gloss. And I love them. They're now that CoverGirl, they reformulated them. I think they're vegan now, these ones. They had these out before and they just brought them back maybe a year ago now. And yeah, so I have almost all of them now and I love them. That's probably what I'm going to put on. All right, I'm going to go get a sandwich because I'm hungry. Oh, my lips are burning. That's just obnoxious. Do they look that much plumper? I mean, maybe they do a little bit. Oh, that hurts though. That's not cool. All right, enough with that. Beware. I mean, if that's your jam, I do think I'm getting more plump than usual. But does beauty have to be pain? They just won't stop hurting. And it's been like 10 minutes. Like, oh, anyway. All right, I'm going to go about my day. I got to do some grading. I got to get a sandwich. I will come back with a daylight check-in. We're expecting rain this afternoon. I'm looking past you out my window. We're expecting rain this afternoon, so I don't know if we'll have very much daylight, but then I'll come back tonight, give you guys my final thoughts. It's been about 5 hours, so here is where we're at. Not bad for my conversational distance. Very lightweight, comfortable. Out here the shade doesn't look too bad as far as lightness. Here's the up close. Still clinging to dry skin, but nothing too exciting to report. Losing a little bit of coverage. Not that there was a ton to begin with. It is just a skin tint. But, this mosquito bite on my ear is killing me. So rude, so rude. There's where we're at. I will check back tonight. We'll see how it goes. 11:18 p.m. That puts us right around the 10-hour mark, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look at how the Wyn Beauty foundation held up. Well, there's not much left of it. I was outside for a little while. It was like 82 degrees. Maybe I was outside for an hour, hour and a half. Decided to go out into my garage workshop and make up a limited edition run of some whipped soap for Pride. It's got 6 colors in it. I can pretty well say that it's a good bet that I won't be making anything else with 6 colors until next Pride, because holy cow. But it did turn out super cute. Right? It's cute. It's cute. There'll be 5 jars available on my website one of these days. It'll take me, I still gotta label them, get them up on the website, all that stuff. But I don't think that was really any kind of strenuous situation as far as my face goes. You know, my bangs are looking a little humidified, but other than that, like this little guy here, wee! I can't really say that a foundation should have broken down because of that. Wow, Ziva. You on the struggle bus today, girl? Yeah, me too. Me too. So, the fact that it's basically gone, that's just not the best thing ever. I'd say it probably held up for 7 to 8 hours. Granted, it's a skin tint and not a foundation. So, let me just zoom you guys in. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. There's pretty much no product left on my nose. And I'm going to say, shocker, the first time I can say this in a very long time, I did not have to blow my nose today. I probably will as soon as I finish this video. But, chin, pretty much product is gone. I mean, the only place I really see any left is where it clung to little dry patches of skin. My blush bronzer is still like maybe a tiny bit visible still, so it held on a little bit there, but not very well. And my forehead has a bunch of cakey skin tint that has clung to those dry patches. So Ziva's now climbing on my head. Not sure what this is all about. Apparently my hair smells good. So, while Ziva's super cute, my face is not super cute. And I wanted to love this because everything about the brand gave me a fantastic first impression. That's not to say it's not going to work for everyone. If you only need it for a short amount of time, you don't need all day wear, and you don't have dry patches, it might be just fine. Because it was decent, like nice looking otherwise in the areas that were not flaking and the areas that did not completely disappear on me. But I'll try it. Every time there's a foundation that does not live up to what I hoped it would, I give it at least 3 tries. And I'll try it with a different primer, I'll try it without primer, I'll try it different ways. I will say I've reviewed over 300 foundations, and only one time did a foundation that I didn't have a good experience with in my review change enough under different circumstances to bother even mentioning it. Like, it's really doesn't happen very often. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. But if I had to give a grade to the Wyn Beauty, I am probably being generous to give it a C-. It's just, I mean, this is specifically for dry skin and maturing skin. So if you've got dry skin, I think maturing skin, you're okay. It did not settle into lines after that initial bit of settling it did. But dry skin, if you have any issues with flaking, it's probably not going to be great. It doesn't feel bad or drying. It feels plenty hydrating. But it was very clingy to my peely spots, and it didn't last very long. And the shades are a little strange. I know they want a very intentional shade range, and I super appreciate that. But it's a little off on what typical industry naming is, you know, fair cool versus light cool. Those have a pretty well, you pretty well know what you are if you buy a lot of foundation. And this is not light cool. I would almost say this is very fair cool, not just fair cool. Like, this is way, way into the fair end of the spectrum. So, I don't know. Have you tried this one? What do you think? Should I get a darker shade? Like, I don't know. I'll keep you posted. If anything changes, you will be the first to know. There you have it. Another episode of Foundation Fest is in the books. If you like foundation reviews, if you had fun with this one, give me a thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comments, what would you like to see? What would you like me to pick up? I finally bought, I don't even know how to say it, Tur, the red one that everyone's talking about and many of you requested. It just arrived today in the mail, so I will be checking that one out. I also have the Urban Decay coming up that I need to film. So I've got more foundations coming. Let me know what you want me to pick up in the comments down below. Hit me up over on Patreon. I check messages over there as well. You don't have to pay to be a subscriber on my Patreon. There's a free option where I share when I find good things on sale and stuff like that. So hit me up over there. What day is today? What day is this gonna go up? I think this will go up when we are still having my 8th anniversary giveaway. So check the description box. Check what date it is, because if you are watching this prior to June 9th, 2024, then you can still enter my giveaway with the link in the description box. If the giveaway is over, I will take the link away. But that's going on, so sign up for that. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.